Oh, enchanté. Bienvenue. How about hello, welcome, hi everybody. It's Mr. Michael at Storytime with Mr. Michael. I was saying some kooky stuff, pretty funny there, wasn't I? So I was trying to speak with my French accent, which is not so good, but we're going to go with it today anyway. And it's going to be pretty necessary because today's book takes place in France. Today's book is The Three Happy Lions by Louise Fatio. The illustrations are by a different person. They are by Roger Duvoisin. So we're going to be reading this book. Look at this great picture on the inside. Super cool. We're going to be reading this book. We're going to find out all about these lions and why they're so happy. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you are too. So let's just jump right in and see what happens in The Three Happy Lions. The Three Happy Lions by Louise Fatio. Pictures by Roger Duvoisin. There was once one happy lion who lived in the zoo of a little French town. There he is. Then there were two happy lions, and that was better than one, for two are company. Then one day, there were three happy lions, and that was even better than two, for the third happy lion was a baby, and so pretty and so playful that all the children came to admire him. "Oh, Mama," they cried, "comme il est joli, le petit lion." Little baby. But Francois, the keeper's son, was the happiest of all. The baby lion was named after him because he was the lion's best friend. Now, for once in his life, the first happy lion had a frown over his eyes. He was worried because he was a father. "I am wondering," he told the lioness, "I am wondering, aren't you, what trade we should give our son Francois to keep him happy when he grows up?" "He can be a pet. He is so gentle," answered the lioness. "That is a capital quality for a pet." "Why not a circus lion? He is so clever and strong," said the happy lion. "Why not in a zoo like us? He is so handsome to look at." "Well," said the happy lion, "there do not seem to be any other trades for lions, do there? I never saw a lion policeman, nor a lion fireman, nor a lion school teacher. If you want my opinion," said the happy lion, "this is an upside-down world. Think of all the things a clever lion could do." Now, one day, while the happy lion was still wondering, there came to visit the zoo a rich lady with beautiful furs and gold necklaces. She exclaimed at once, "Oh, quel mignon petit lion! May I have him for a pet? I would love him so." The happy lion and the lioness shed some tears when the lady was allowed to take Francois with her. But after all, it was time for him to learn a trade. It was thus that Francois became a pet. The rich lady lived in a splendid house with silk curtains at every window and thick rugs on which Francois's paws padded silently. She bought him a red ribbon to tie around his neck and a coat to keep him warm on afternoon walks. Every morning, while the lady was eating her breakfast in bed, Francois rolled and played like a kitten on her lace and silk bedquilt. "Mon gentil petit lion," the lady would say, "you are the darlingest pet," and she would kiss him on his black nose. It was a pleasant life, and Francois liked it well enough. He grew fat and round and so big that he could soon jump by himself onto the lady's bedquilt. And he grew and grew and grew until one morning, as he jumped onto the bedquilt, crash! The bed broke in two. "Oh, quel horreur, mon petit lion, comme tu es le gros!" cried the lady. "How sad it is that a pet baby lion cannot remain a baby lion. My darling Francois," she added with a tear, "I will not be able to keep you as a pet. I will have to give you to my friend Monsieur Tambour, the circus owner. He will love you too and will teach you wonderful tricks." And thus it was that Francois became a circus lion. At first, Francois thought that the circus was much like the zoo. There were 2 snarling tigers, 2 bears, 2 elephants, 2 seals, but animals are not taught tricks in the zoo. They are in the circus, and that makes all the difference. The tigers roared from the top of a high stool. The bears rode bicycles. The elephants danced. The seals played the trumpet. "Mon ami," said Monsieur Tambour to Francois, "you will jump through a hoop of fire, and you will learn to roar ferociously and swish your tail angrily. You will walk the way the king of the wild beasts must walk. That is what you are, after all. It will give goose pimples to people, and that is why they come to the circus." At once, the lessons began. To teach Francois, Monsieur Tambour walked and roared like the king of beasts, and with his arms he showed how an angry lion's tail swished. Right like this, left like that, up and down. That's a mighty angry tail. People must fear that you are going to eat me up. But no part of Francois could look angry. Not even his tail, however hard he tried. "Oh la la!" exclaimed Monsieur Tambour. "Pas comme ça, mon ami! You look as gentle as a lady's poodle. Oh, now no one will have goose pimples looking at you or hearing you. Now, hear my roar. Roar!" went Monsieur Tambour. It was so frightening that Francois did get goose pimples. The lessons went thus every day, and Monsieur Tambour sounded and looked more and more ferocious. But not so Francois. "Why should I look ferocious?" he wondered. "I do not want to eat up Monsieur Tambour." After many lessons, Monsieur Tambour gave up. He had to, for he'd lost his voice trying to roar louder and louder. Never mind, mon ami," he whispered. "You are the sweetest king of wild beasts I have ever seen. But that will not do in the circus. Now, let's see if you can do the flaming hoop trick." Now, Francois did like to play with hoops, but not flaming ones. Weren't such things rather silly? When something was burning at the zoo, the firemen came to put the fire out. No, Francois would have none of it. Hereupon, Monsieur Tambor said, "Mon ami, if you will never make a circus performer, if you ask me, I think you should go back to the zoo." I would rather, thought Francois. I do not like to give goose pimples to people. I like people. So, Monsieur Tambor took Francois back to the friendly zoo. The happy lioness and the lion were so happy to embrace him that they did not mind at all his having failed to remain a pet and a circus lion. But Francois knew all along there was something else he wanted to do. Now, a zoo is a very busy place, as everyone knows who has lived in one. There are children riding the zebra, parents watching them, nurses pushing baby carriages, soldiers, policemen, and lovers walking in the shaded paths, and the animals in their houses and gardens. But ever since he was a baby lion, Francois had especially loved to watch the other Francois the keeper's son. This Francois had become a helper to the park gardener and looked so contented as he planted and watered flowers and made the walks neat with his rake that Francois the lion had decided long ago that he wanted to be a gardener too. Think of living and working among the brilliant and scented flowers. So, Francois the lion set out to help Francois the gardener. With what ease he pushed the wheelbarrow loaded with pots of flowers. Dig a hole for a tree? No one did it better than he. Water the flowers? How amusing! Weed the flower beds, rake the leaves, spray the flowers for bugs. Just the right work for a lion. In no time, Francois the lion became such a good gardener and could make flowers grow so fine that the mayor decided officially that the park needed 2 gardeners' helpers. The 2 Francois. And thus it was that Francois the lion became a gardener. The happy lion and the lioness were now so very pleased with their son. They spent many happy hours watching the 2 Francois work like 2 good friends to make the park more beautiful than it had ever been. "Show us another lion who has ever been a gardener," said the happy lion. "It's just as I said before. There are other trades for clever lions." The end. That is one happy lion family, isn't it? That sure was a whole lot of fun. I apologize for my French accent, and even worse, I apologize for my actual French. I didn't know there was French in this book, and I just kind of said it. I'm sure I said some of the words wrong. I probably said all of the words wrong. Maybe you know, maybe you speak French. Do you speak French? I would love it if you do, and you wanted to correct my pronunciation below. I love learning new things, especially how to say and use new words. Were there any new words in that book that you just heard? Or were there any words you knew but maybe were being used in a different way? That's one of my favorite things about reading, is getting to learn and use new words as I'm talking to people, or as I'm telling stories, or as I'm making up stories. It's super cool. There's something else you could comment with. Comment your favorite new word. just comment it right below. You might also, include your favorite book so that I can read it next time on Storytime with Mr. Michael. That sounds like a whole lot of fun for me, but you guys know, I always have fun doing this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming here and spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. I love books, and I love each and every one of you. Okay, everybody, keep reading, stay curious, and I'll see you next time. Bye.